So I want to welcome you to another episode of Digging in My Shorts. This is an ongoing series that I've been doing in which I spend time literally digging through 100,000 comics in my collection. And I had an opportunity to pick this collection up several months ago, and I'm continuing to explore it. And in some cases, what we do is we literally bring a bin home and we go through the bin together for the very first time. Now, what I will tell you is that this bin right here is one that I've actually gone through previously. And I've gone through this bin just kind of hunting and pecking through it to kind of see what was here. And I did so at the storage facility itself. And at the time that I did it, I deemed it to be a bin that was not worthy to actually come to my house. And today, I actually went back to this bin and did another spot check and decided that this was indeed a bin that I wanted to bring here to the house. There was one book in particular that I spotted in this bin that I am hopeful will basically be the start of a nice little run of books. At least that is my hope, but you never know until you dig inside. And so we are going to dig into this one. And this bin is actually labeled X Factor. And I can tell you for a fact that there is indeed some X Factor in here, but there's also some other things that are noteworthy as well. And so the very first book that we turn over here, of course, is an X Factor book. It is X Factor Annual Issue number 1. And I used to be a big X Factor fan back in the day. I was a huge fan of everything mutant related. And so if it had something to do with mutants, it was a book that I read. And X Factor was indeed one of those titles. And so I'm going to kind of high step through here as best I can because there's not a whole lot of magic here in this one. I want to say this is one of the books I actually had signed back in the 90s when I attended a con. But there's not a whole lot of magic in the first part of this bin. A lot of it is indeed some X Factor stuff. And I actually have a lot of this in my original collection from my childhood. And so, these are in many ways doubles and in some cases triples of what I already have in the collection. And a lot of these books are actually not bagged and boarded. That is issue number 80 right there of X Factor. I'm just going to kind of hop skipping in through here. This is issue number 82 right there of X Factor. And hopefully you guys can actually see this pretty clearly. That is 84 right there. Moved my lights around. I've made some changes here into the room and still trying to get adjusted to where the lights are positioned and all that good stuff. So fingers crossed that you guys can actually see this stuff relatively clearly. So we're going to kind of skip through a lot of this X Factor stuff here that is in the beginning and try to get to some of those books. Or at least that one book that I spotted earlier today. So right here, this is the question from DC, and this is the question issue number 2 from the summer of 1991. And this was the heyday for me, man. Right here, this is the heyday when I was actually buying books back in the day. This is issue number 2 right here. This is the annual though. This was when I was originally in the hobby back in the day. Yeah, that's Changing Man right there. Wonder Woman Annual from 1989. I did not see that book the first time I went through here many months ago. The New Talent Showcase from DC. But I was originally a collector back in the early 90s and got away from the hobby as I moved into my senior year. And certainly as I went off to college. Lab Rats is what this one is. Lab Rats issue number 4. And then I was back into the hobby in the early 2000s, like 2004, 5-ish time frame, and then out very shortly thereafter. This is Black Adam. Black Adam 7.4. It's I think that's a lenticular cover right there. I think it's yeah it is. I'm trying to get the light right. And the previous owner paid $7.99 for this book. This is Black Adam number 1. It says 7.4. We're actually going to set that to the side. I went back a few months ago and actually read some Black Adam books. Did not read that one, but I read the origin stuff, the original stuff for Black Adam, and was very much intrigued by that, partly because of what The Rock is actually the fact that he's going to be portraying the Black Adam. That was part of what attracted me to it. So this is Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 41, another title that I was into heavily. And I will tell you what's funny is that just earlier today I read a news report that said that The Rock actually surpassed 200 million subscribers on Instagram. So it's funny that I actually found a Black Adam book here, just super random. I may have to go back through here to see if there's any others, but that seemed to be a little bit of a random occurrence there, because it immediately kind of went to the Guardians, which is another title that I actually read back in the day. This is Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 41. This was back when Mark Silvestri was on the title, and I read a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy. I actually have his signature on a few books, and here we go. This is one of the books that I spotted earlier today. This is Megaton issue number 2. This is a book that, or a title that I found in another bin, but it was only, I want to say it was like 3 issues or something like that, and I was definitely missing issue number 2. So I'm very pleased to have found that in this box here. This is part of the reason why I decided to bring this. Megaton is actually a pretty interesting character, right? Back in the day, this was like an indie that was actually done, and he's a pretty awesome character that has 2 hearts. And I've read his stuff, and I just thought it was cool. My goal is to see if I can find the full run of this particular title in the collection. So definitely a really cool book right there to have found. And wow, this is cool right here. This is a book that I was very hopeful that I was going to find. When I spotted Megaton issue number 2, I was hopeful that I would find issue number 3. This is actually the first appearance, I do believe, of the character that was originally known as the Dragon but became the Savage Dragon. And I think in this issue he actually takes on the moniker of the Savage Dragon. And the rumor is that Eric Larson, he came out with this character back when he was like 19, and I think there was like some some lawsuits or something like that pushed him towards changing the name from the Dragon to the Savage Dragon, and I think that this is the issue in which that actually occurs. So, Megaton number 3. This is a cool find. This is a cool find. I've already read this. I've actually read that. I read it digitally. When I found Megaton before, I went ahead and read issue number 3 because, again, I was hopeful that I would find it in the collection. And sure enough, I actually lost my spot. I don't know where I was. I got so excited. I just, oh man. Okay, Guardians of the Galaxy. We know we were there. Okay, wait a minute. Did we? I don't remember. Oh, wait, there's another Megaton. Issue number 4. Wow. And this is, let me see if I can hold my place there. This is where he actually went into some kind of stasis contraption, if you will, because he was having heart issues, because his 2 hearts were out of sync, and he was having, I think, arrhythmias. And this is cool. This book appears to be in fantastic shape. A little bit of some spine ticks, mild spine tick that don't appear to break color. This is a nice copy. There are some color breaks on the backside. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that. There's several color breaks on the backside, but still, man, this is cool. Let me set that off to the side. I am excited about that one. There is issue number 5, and I want to say I already have 2 copies of issue number 5. I want to say that this is the one that actually has the first published work by Rob Liefeld. Don't hold me to that, because it's been a couple of weeks since I actually did the research and did the original video, but I want to say that this one actually has, again, that first published work by Rob, so that's really cool. And I can't remember, it might end with issue 5 or 6. I cannot recall, but I am very pleased. I'm very pleased with that. I spotted that one and I was like, all right, let me just take this bin home and let me hope for the best. And sure enough, But here is the New Warriors issue number 1. Again, I read a lot of this back in the day. I think this is a gold cover. I want to say that there's also a red cover of this as well. I have a couple of copies of this in the collection already. There's a couple of issues here. That's issue number 13. So it went from issue 1 to 13 and then 14. This was like my heyday. This was my heyday right here. So I literally have all of these books. This is New Warriors issue number 21. I already have these in the original collection from back in the day. Terax the Tamer right there. Is that issue? I don't even know what issue this is. This is 51. So I was probably done collecting by this point because that book does not look familiar. But I don't even know if there's anything else good in here. I was really pumped about the Megaton stuff when I saw it. So this is some Shadow stuff here. This is a lot of unbagged and boarded books here. Try to pull this forward for you guys, maybe help out a little bit. But Shadow Strikes issue number 5. I don't know anything about that. A lot of unbagged and boarded books here. This is issue number 13. That's issue 22 right there. Let's see what else we see in here. Issue 26. I mean, you can see it's a healthy number of just unbagged and boarded. There's the web right there. Let's see what this is up here. Doom Patrol issue number 16. Hopefully you guys again can see that. And let's see what else we have in here. Kind of skip around the web again. Hero number 1 right there. Don't know much about these books at all. Will is the writer on that one. Not sure what this is. Future Cop from Wildstorm. Never even seen that before. Beware of the Creeper. Wow, that's cool. The Creeper from DC, issue number 2 right there. I have the original appearance of, well, I think it's the original, but Creeper number 1 from back in the day. Vigilante from Marv Wolfman. It's issue number 1, Vigilante. Brain Bank. A couple of interesting books. Oh, wow. The Fourth World from Jack Kirby. This is actually a John Byrne book right here. Holy War. This is issue number 5. Interesting stuff. It's just amazing the stuff that you find when you go through this collection. This is The Fly issue number 10 from Impact Comics. Just a couple of random things. The Jaguar back here, issue number 8. Lazarus. Thriller right here. This is issue number 8 as well. Just a couple of random books back here. Cosmic Boy, I've never heard of that. Cosmic Boy. It's a spinoff of Legends Chapter 8. This is Cosmic Boy issue number 2. Never even heard of that title. Just a random assortment of books back here. I don't think there's anything special, but again, I will probably go back through this with a little more care. Because again, I'll tell you what I may have done when I originally pulled this bin and did the little spot check. Wow, that's Catwoman issue number 1 right there. I may have seen some of these books back here and just decided that this was not a bin that was worth pulling, bringing home. Again, there was just only a couple of really hot books, that being the Megaton stuff. I will tell you that this next section here in the back, this is something that I did spot, and while these books aren't worth a whole lot, I think it was a pretty cool title, and so I want to at least show it here for a moment. But I think that the previous owner used to buy directly from Diamond. At least that's my feeling. I could be completely wrong about that, but right here you have Robin. Issue number 1 of 5. Free poster inside. This is a Brian Boland cover right here. And just a really, really awesome cover. I wish that this was the newsstand. The newsstand actually has a UPC symbol down here in the lower left-hand corner. That is actually an expensive book. The regular direct edition, not so much. But these all appear to be essentially all the same. And not only is there one, as I bang my microphone there, there's actually 2 full bundles of Robin, issue number 1, and then here is issue number 5. Let's see if there's more. Yeah, more 5 on the back here. So I'm guessing that there's some 2 and 2 through 4 somewhere in the collection, but these are all issue 5 back here at the back side of this particular bin. So I may pop these open just to make sure, because it would be awesome. I'll tell you, if I were able to find a newsstand in here, but I have a feeling all of these are basically all the same thing, that being the direct edition of Robin issue number 1. So I will go through those in a hot second. But again, I'm actually pretty pleased. Honestly, I'm pretty pleased with what I've been able to find in this little bin. Again, because of the importance of a couple of these books here, right? So what's great again is that I actually, in the collection already, I found some of these other issues. But more importantly than that is that I actually have in the collection graphic fantasy. And graphic fantasy issue number 1 through 3. These were some self-published books that Eric Larson actually did back in the day when he was 19 years of age. And all of them are hand numbered and signed by him and his fellow creators. And that was the first time that the dragon, or the Savage Dragon, actually appeared in a publication. And so I'm pleased to have issue 1 through 3 in the collection. And I was very much hopeful that I would be able to find issue number, 1 through 3. I was very hopeful that I would be able to find this issue as well. Savage Dragon was an important character for me back in the 90s. Back when Image launched, I bought a lot of those original titles that came out from the folks over at Image. It's a huge Marvel fan, following, Mark Silvestri and Todd and Eric, because they were working on Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man, and then they went over to Image, and I continued to follow them there, and Savage Dragon was one of those titles that I read. So I'm very pleased to have found these books in the collection. And again, I've actually developed a little bit of an affinity for Megaton. I think he's a dope character. I mean, the guy has 2 hearts, man. So I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch this video. Again, there wasn't a whole lot of like super sexy stuff in this particular bin, but definitely a couple of really cool books that will enhance my overall collection, which is something that I'm very much excited about. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, I want to encourage you to hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment behind so we can mix it up in the comment section. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so on Instagram at Regie Collects, or you can send me an email to Regie@RegieCollects.com. Take care.